April of 1989, while traveling back to Washington, D.C. from Canada with my youth basketball team. This was our third straight year of going to the National Police Athletic League Championships. We won the 2 previous years, but we had just lost at the buzzer for this national championship. It was a 14 under division. And I remember clearly we was coming down 14th Street. We passed Meridian. And then as I'm looking up, I saw some police cars. And as we drove past Newton Street, we could see the entire street just blocked off, police cars everywhere. And I was like, wow, I just knew someone had to have been murdered. And I was excited of being back because while in Canada, I had received a phone call from my sergeant, Sergeant Cumberland. She said, she was so happy for me. She said, Mitch, when you return on Monday, I need you to report to police headquarters. You've been transferred to Homicide. Man, I was so happy, and oh my God, man, the kids saw the joy in my face. I didn't tell them what was going on because to them, I wasn't even a police officer. And I was just so happy. So we got back that Sunday night, and here it is the next morning, I had to respond to police headquarters to respond to Homicide. So I still only had one sport coat, the same one I had in the police academy 3 years prior. And so I report downtown police headquarters, go to the roll call room. I go in the roll call room, all these, man, oh my God. It's like I was in a room full of celebrities. I saw Herman Johnson, I saw Dwayne Stan, I saw Detective Velaz. They looked at me like, hey, young, and they're like, they ain't even really know me, you know? So I'm like, damn, I just helped y'all close murder cases and y'all, you know, act like I'm nothing. But it was just an honor to be in that room with savvy veterans who were probably among the best in the United States. They were just good, okay? So we all sitting there and we go through the roll call process. And, you know, they call out everybody's name and everything. So once we went through the roll call process, everybody started getting up and walking out the room to go to the homicide office. So I'm following them. So next thing I know, this big dude named Sergeant Parker tapped me on my shoulder from behind, like, Credle, where you going? I said, I'm going to homicide. He said, no, go back in the room. So now I go back into the room. I'm sitting there like, what the hell is going on? So next thing you know, Sergeant Parker come back to the room. He's a real big dark-skinned guy. He say, follow me. You being assigned to the burglary and arson unit. Man, oh my God, man. You talking about, I was a grown man in a suit and tie about to cry because I wasn't going to homicide. I was going to the burglary and arson unit. So I walked to the burglary and arson unit. This is when I met Miss Karen Avant. They told my apartment to be this guy named Butcher. I mean, they were all cool. Lieutenant was Hyder. I mean, everybody was cool, but they were not homicide. They weren't the heroes who I saw go upstairs and I had to stay downstairs. And it crushed me. You know, oh my God, man. It's like an arrow hit me in my heart, man. It's like your girlfriend dumped you or I felt like running away. I ain't gonna lie, I felt real bad. And so I go into the room, and they knew my heart was set on going to homicide. I just closed some homicide cases as officer. And they tried to make me feel better, and it wasn't working. So that first day, I was just depressed. So probably maybe for like the first couple of weeks, because in the morning time, everybody meet in roll call. And I would see all them homicide guys. So they used to be like, man, you not coming with us? They used to like, I thought they was joking and playing. They're like, you not coming with us? You not coming with us? And I just was like, man. I don't even want to be a police no more. I don't want to be a detective. So I worked with Detective Butcher for 2 years. And the good thing about working in burglary and arson was that I learned how to be a detective. Because when they showed me what the stats were on closing burglary cases, that they were hard to close, I was like, okay, it was a challenge for me. So I started locking people up for burglary. And they was like, you locking people up for burglary? I said, damn right, they committed a crime. So I was proving myself. I was able to prove that I was a good detective because I was locking people up for burglary. No one charged people for burglary. And what got me to homicide was, it was like during this April of 1991, maybe March of 1991, I had a case where up in Georgetown and AU, all in that area, some homes were being burglarized. And they were wide open, like maybe 40 cases wide open. And one day I was interviewing this older guy. And he said, "Shorty, you from the streets, aren't you?" I said, "I mean, I grew up around the neighborhoods. Why?" He told me he was from Park Road. And I told him, well, I was from 10th Street. Wasn't too far from Park Road. He said, "So I'm going to make your career, man." And I'm sitting there like, "How you going to make my career?" He said, "Man, I'm going to tell you about some burglaries that will never close." And I was like, "No shit." And he was like, "Yeah." So he said, "I tell you what," he said, "Can you take me out?" I said, "I don't know." I didn't know anything. So I go to my partner, Butch. I said, "Butcher, this dude said he could show me a bunch of burglaries. Can we take him out?" He said, "Yeah." He's a prison man charged with something else. So we take him out inside the car. And we ride around all these different neighborhoods. He's pointing out to every home he burglarized. He showed how he did it, how he cut the alarm system off, how he was blending in the neighborhood, like of American U area. He was dressed as a student. Area where they was doing construction, he was dressed as a construction worker. He was showing me and talking about how he was able to fit into the environment so people wouldn't make him look like he was looking. He was fitting in where he wasn't looking suspicious. He looked like he was just blending into what was going on in the neighborhoods. So he ended up pointing out 40 homes that he burglarized. 40. And he was giving me all the cases so I can close out the cases because he said he's going to make my career. So now I go back to the office with Butcher and the prisoner. Some of the other guys in the office are like, "Well, give me this case, give me that, give me that." I was like, no. These my cases. So I end up closing out 40 burglary cases. And I'm still in my probably mid-20s. I'm young, 3 years on the job. Now I'm like feeling real good. So I don't know what happened, but after I closed out them 40 cases, I got a notification that Monday to report the homicide. And you should have saw the look on my face. I was so happy. So I report the homicide that Monday. And when I walked to the office, I met my Sergeant Walt Staples. Real G, smooth guy. And I met the other people. I knew some of them that was gonna be in my squad. And I realized that our squad that I was in was pretty young. And I'm still looking at some of the older guys in office, and they don't give you the respect you want. You have to earn it. And I'm thinking, I'm one of the guys now, but nah, to them, I was just a little peewee. And dude, you got to prove yourself. So for the first year, I was constantly trying to prove myself.